If it is num1, you can't again declare a same type num1 variable. So that's a common thing. So now, now I have declared two variables, num1 and num2. Now what happens is, in our RAM, our computer will dedicate two memory locations. It will book two locations like this, red one and blue one, let's say, for the moment. So one is named as num1, the other one is named as num2. Now we have two dedicated memory locations, and now we can fill those locations with integer type values. So this is the place that the variables are filled with values. So for the num1, it was filled with 5. For the num2, it was filled with 3. So let's say in this red box we have 5, in this blue box we have 3. Now we have values in our variables. So to assign values, you have to use the equal symbol. This is the assignment operator in C programming language. So 5 will be assigned to variable num1. 3 will be assigned to variable num2. It will always assign to your left hand side. Okay, now inside our cout statement, we are adding num1 and num2. We are not adding 5 and 3. Instead, we are adding num1 and num2. So what happens here is, value of num1 will be added to value of num2. So the value of num1 is 5, value of num2 is 3. So in this instance, it will do the sum 5 plus 3, which is 8. So you will get the output as 8. Now let's try to practically do this and see. So I'm going to dev C++ as usual. I'm starting a new project, a console application. Let's say variables. So I will save this as practical 3 in my computer. So now you have 3 practical folders. I will create a new folder. Oops, it is okay. Right, inside my practical 3 folder, I will save this exercise. Okay, I will remove unnecessary default codings. No harm if you keep them also, but I prefer removing them. We'll work with the basics. Okay, now I need two variables. So I like to have integer variables, so I will have integer type variable num1, num2. Right, now I have declared variables. Now my computer is now booked two locations from my memory. Now I have to fill or assign values into those variables. Let's say num1 assign 5, num2 assign with 3. Now 5 is a whole number, 3 is a whole number. So they are accepted in integer type data. Now what if I do this? Now 5.4 is not a whole number. It will gives you an error. So if the data type is integer, it can only hold integer type data, like only the whole numbers. Okay. Now I will display the result by using printf. So again you have to use the proper conversion specifier. So from this calculation it will again generate a decimal or a whole number. So all the operands are in integer or whole number type, so the output also will be in whole number or integer type. So the proper conversion specifier is %d. Now we have to construct the calculation. So now we are not going to add 5 and 3, instead we will add num1 and num2, num1 plus num2, right? Okay, now when the program is running it will add whatever the stuff in this num1 with whatever the stuff in this num2. At the moment num1 is holding 5, num2 is holding 3, so we will get 8 as the answer. Let's see, are we getting that answer? Yes, we got the answer as 8. Right? So what's the benefit of using variables? Benefit is now we can change value. Right? So if we change the value, we don't need to change the expression. Here it is unchanged. Instead of changing the expression, I will change the values involved with this that particular expression. So I change num2 into 10. So I will change num1 into, let's say, 20. Now the variables are changed, expression is unchanged, so it's kind of common or a general expression. So now in this moment num1 is holding 20, num2 is holding 10, so we should get the answer as 30. Let's see, are we getting that particular answer? Yes, we got 30. So I think now it is clear how the variables are used in C program. Now actually the real requirement is also not this. What we have to do is, when the program is running, we need to change those values, right? When the program is running, we should be able to change the values and see the result. So that's the real use of variables. So now let's move on to lecture or the practical and see how that can be possible. So this practical is now clear, so we will move on, right? So this thing we already discussed, variables. Now the thing is, variable will contain some garbage value just after you declare. So here now you just declare the num1. So just after declaration, what is the value inside it? Is it 0? No. Just after you declare the variable, it will hold some garbage value, whatever the value. We don't know, some arbitrary value will be inside that particular variable. So when you declare a variable, value of that variable is not 0. It's just a garbage value or arbitrary value. So therefore, just after you declare the variable, it is better to assign a value, or just after declaration you just assign an initial value, let's say 0. Then After that you can continue using that variable. So that is known as variable initialization. So you are initially assigning a value just after declaring that variable. Otherwise, just after the declaration, there will be some garbage values in that variable. So as we discussed, variables are very useful in keyboard inputs. So let's see how to deal with keyboard inputs. Okay, so in I'll take a pointer. Okay, so scanf is the keyword to take a keyboard input while your program is running. Now let's say right now we are in the designing stage. Now we are designing the program. Now we can change our variables as we wish, but the real requirement is to change those variables when the program is running. Right now program is running, but now I can't change the variables here. So what I want is I want change values of num1 and num2 and see what's happening with the answer. But that facility is not there if we are not using any inputs to our program. Those are just fixed assignments. But I want to assign whatever the number I want, value I want, while the program is running, and I want to see how the output behaves. Okay. Therefore, we have to use keyboard inputs. So the keyword is scanf. So scanf will prompt user to enter something from the keyboard. Right? So in a C program, if a scanf statement is there, program will wait and try to receive a keyboard input from the user. So whatever the data input from the keyboard will be sent to a variable. Then we can use that variable to do our calculations. So inside the runtime, I can give custom values and see how the solution or the result behaves. Okay. This is an example of a very simple calculator. So it will take two values from the user or whoever the person operates the computer. So after he or she giving two values to the computer, the addition of those two values will be displayed. So in that case, you have to use scanf statement. So